Welcome back everyone to another episode of Vegetarian Cooking with JJ. In this week's episode we're going to be traveling to the Alsace region of France and we're going to be making the local dish known as Baeckeoffe. This was a very popular dish back in the old days. It was known as a peasant's dish and the women would generally take their Dutch oven to the local baker during the week in the morning time. Then they would take the kids to school and do their daily chores. Later on, they would pick up their kids from school, travel back to the local baker, pick up their Dutch oven, a loaf of bread, and maybe they would get some wine as well, and everything would be set for dinner time. Alternatively, they would do this on Saturday night. They would drop off their Dutch oven Saturday night, head on over to church, and then on their way back from church, their meal would be ready, so they would bring it back home and it would be ready to eat. This is a delicious meal we're going to be making today. This meal is going to be very comforting, filling, and delicious, and I look forward to trying it in the end. So let's head over to your kitchen and get cooking. I put a half a cup of dried green lentils in this bowl of hot water to soak. I'm setting our stovetop to medium, and I'm heating up some veggie stock, some of my homemade veggie stock. I'm gonna add 1 cup of TVP to this dish. I'm using a half a cup, that's why I'm doing it twice, in case you were wondering. I'm pouring over our hot veggie stock so the TVP can hydrate. This will only take 5 to 10 minutes. Now I'm just slicing 1 Spanish onion. I have a bunch of garlic cloves here. I'm just going to microplane them. I'm going to be using the Beyond sausage for this dish. We'll just slice up 3 of them. And I'm just going to pour in our hydrated TVP along with the veggie stock. I'm gonna mix in this garlic, pureed garlic. And here we have 5 cloves and the equivalent of 1 bay leaf, and it's gonna go right in. We'll just mix it up. I'm gonna take a handful of the onion, more or less, and give it a mix. I'll take this much time and incorporate it into our marinade. I have about a handful of parsley here. I'm just gonna chop it up. So it's going to go into the marinade mix. And I'm just going to mix in our freshly chopped parsley. Pour in our cup of white wine. It's from the Alsace region. That's what was recommended. Add some pepper. And I'm just gonna add a couple of pinches of salt. You don't need much because there's already salt in the Beyond meat. Always consider the salt content of all of the ingredients that you're mixing in while cooking. And we'll pop this in the fridge. We'll cover it as well. If you ever do travel to the Alsace region of France, you will notice right away in the architecture and in the culture that there is a blend between the German and French culture and architecture. The reason for this is within a 200-year time frame, it flipped back and forth from being a part of Germany and being a part of France. This happened 4 times in a 200-year time frame. Now it's definitely a part of France. An interesting fact is the French national anthem was first sung in the Alsace region, in particular Strasbourg. It was a song that was created for the French army when they were defending France against the Austrian and the Prussian invasion. I'm just preheating the oven to 350. I'm just gonna grease our Dutch oven here with the earth balance. We'll just gouge out the eyes of the potatoes. I'm gonna leave the skins on these potatoes since they're so thin, the skin, so. You see I had some leftover potatoes in a bag, so that's why they're varying sizes. I just wanted to use them up for this dish. So our first layer is going to be the onion. We'll spread it around evenly. Next we'll add the veggie meat with the sauce. We're gonna mix in the lentils here. I'm going to pour over 2/3 cup of veggie stock, 1 cup of wine, some parsley here, some rosemary. I'll just peel off the leaves, peel off the thyme. A little more thyme here. So now we'll just spread that around. We'll pop our carrots on top here. I had a bunch of these ripple cut carrots ready to go. I'm just sprinkling on some salt here, some pepper, put our potatoes all around. I have a 1/4 cup of veggie stock. I'm just going to pour it over top. I'm going to drizzle on some of the liquid smoke on top. And additional 1/4 cup of our white wine. It's time to cover it. Generally, this is a slow cooked meal, as you would imagine from what I just told you. What I'm going to do is cook it for 2 hours rather than on the low heat overnight or all day. 350 Fahrenheit for 2 hours will be perfect. Funny, but not so funny, I forgot to add the leek. So what I'm going to do now, because the dish is ready to come out of the oven, I'm just going to slice some leek up quickly and fry it up and then just put it on top. Don't worry if you go off the recipe as well. It's not rocket science. Just cut off the end of the leek, and I had washed it, but I'm going to wash it again once I cut it open. Leeks can be quite sandy. I'm just adding some oil to the pan here and frying up some of the leeks. And I just took out the Dutch oven since it's ready. Now it's time to lift the lid of our Dutch oven and see how it turned out. Just gonna dig right in. In case you were wondering, I did originally think this was a stew because the recipe mentions the bouquet garni. However, then on another recipe it said that it was a casserole. So then I realized later that it is actually a stew. That's why I'm using the plate. So also, there were no bowls available. And keep it warm for shimmy. There we go. We got our leeks on top. We have a salad to go with our meal as well. Okay, so I get to try it. First taste. You can always add some extra spice if you're like me and enjoy your spice. Traditionally, there's not that type of spice, so. It's a nice simple meal to fill you up and keep you energized. I'm personally gonna add some spice to mine. I think it will be that much better with the spice. If you like this video in any way, shape, or form, remember to hit the thumbs up button. Feel free to share with your friends and family. Tune in every Monday for a new recipe. Feel free to drop a comment below or a question. Thank you for subscribing. Bon appetit. Cheers! Yasu. Sante. Going to be making a dish called Baeckeoffe, the veganized version